What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC Comics Solicitations discussions videos. And in this video, we're talking about the September 2024 DC Comics Solicitations. So, yes, we're already into September now, and I mean we're already at the halfway point of June. It's June 14th at the time of recording this video. I haven't really gone through these just yet, so we're gonna go through these. These are gonna be like my live reactions. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So Absolute Power, of course, is gonna be still taking over DC. I don't intend to read most of it. I'll just kind of read the main stuff by Wade, where it just says Absolute Power 1, 2, 3, and then some of the tie-ins that are already connected to books I'm already covering on the channel. Maybe something else, but I don't want to just go all in on Absolute Power, because I made that mistake with Night Terrors and other little things like Lazarus Planet, Dark Crisis, and it just got to the point where I realized you don't really need to read all these other storylines to understand stuff. You can just kind of pick it up as you go along, and it's just kind of better for it. So we see these covers right here. It looks like Batman's hooking up with Catwoman, even though they kind of had their big blowing out in Gotham War, but I mean, she kind of helps him in Detective Comics. I don't know the continuity of DC anymore. So this one's written by Chip Zdarsky. The Batman book by Zdarsky right now has not been the best. I really I mean, the failsafe Zur stuff, it could be so much better. There's been a lot of stuff like Gotham War, which has just universally been very well disliked. And I just don't feel the enthusiasm or excitement for the Batman book like there really should be. You'd think, because Zdarsky's done good stuff before, it would have really translated, but it really hasn't to the best that it can be. But let's see what this one is. So it's an Absolute Power tie-in. In a thrilling Absolute Power tie-in, Batman and Catwoman must find the key to Amanda Waller's plans in an extremely remote and shockingly dangerous location. Living, dying, up to their names, some of the Suicide Squad won't be coming back from their mission, but will Batman and Catwoman stay free or to fight another day? Plus, the Birds of Prey backup finds the birds facing Waller's minions in an unexpected adventure. Alright, next up we have Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween #1. God, that title is so long and redundant. You could just call it Batman The Last Halloween, but I guess people won't realize that it's a sequel unless you put The Long Halloween in there. You could have just called it The Long Halloween 2 something, but no, we're going to just have this... I don't know, do we really need The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween? The title doesn't really work for me. So, again, Jeff Loeb is coming back to write another story with this. He wrote something in '96, so that award-winning saga, of course, most people know The Long Halloween. They also had a recent, two-part animated adaptation set in the Tomorrowverse, which wasn't very good. But, it's a very influential Batman story. It definitely influenced The Dark Knight. And, it is a solid storyline. So Loeb is returning to the world of The Long Halloween for its long-anticipated final act, The Last Halloween, an all-new 10-part mystery continuing the story from 2021's The Long Halloween special. In each issue, Loeb will be joined by one of the top artists in DC, and then it kind of goes right here. In issue 1, Gotham City learns to fear Halloween once more as a terrible event threatens to destroy Jim Gordon's life and puts Batman and Robin's teamwork to the test more than ever before. In a city of liars, masked vigilantes, and criminals, can anyone be trusted? So this one is Long Halloween, The Last Halloween #0. So you thought you knew the whole story of Batman The Long Halloween. You were wrong. Well, of course you don't, because you got The Last Halloween coming out here. Reprinting the final collaboration between legendary creators Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, the special uncovers a deadly mystery that could destroy Batman, Gordon, Two-Face, and, well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? Don't miss out on the special reprint, the prelude to The Last Halloween. Then we have Absolute Power #3, written by Mark Waid, art and cover by Dan Mora. Now, Waid and Mora, on World's Finest, really great combination working on stuff. I'm really enjoying World's Finest. But that's kind of a fun flashback book that doesn't really have too many constraints on the current continuity. I know some storylines did kind of pick up in present time, like the whole Devil Neza thing was kind of the big one. But, Dan Mora is a phenomenal artist. Waid is a talented writer. I'm just kind of event fatigued with DC at the moment. I think after Absolute Power, DC needs to take an entire year off from events. Don't have any big ones in 2025. You can maybe do some small crossovers and such, but focus on maybe you could relaunch some titles like Teen Titans or Justice League. I think it's kind of shocking that we don't have an ongoing Teen Titans book right now or an ongoing Justice League, considering that, the Justice League was kind of disbanded after the whole Dark Crisis thing, which I feel like you kind of have to have the Justice League back at some point, because they're one of the premier books. They should be one of the premier books at DC. Same thing with Teen Titans. I know we have Titans by Tom Taylor, but that book leaves a lot to be desired. But you kind of need that kind of youthful energy, and I'm just not really seeing it at DC right now. So But anyway, so our heroes are on the run following the Trinity of Evil's devastating attack at the Fortress of Solitude, with Superman headquarters in ruin and the superpowers on planet Earth in the clutches of Amanda Waller. Failsafe and the Brainiac Queen. Is this the end of the line? No way. The Resistance lives on, using Fortress technology cobbled together by Mr. Terrific and Airwave. Earth's last hope have retreated to Themyscira, home to Wonder Woman and the famously suspicious of outsiders. And famous suspicious outsiders. Can Superman, Batman, and the rest of the depowered heroes strike an alliance with these elite Amazonian fighters? All this in a mad mayday from Barry Allen as DC's war for absolute power rages on. And then we have this one, Absolute Power, Super Sun, written by Sina Grace and Nicole Maines. See, like, calling it just Super Sun, why not just call it, like, John Kent or something? But you can't call him, like, Superman, because, I mean, you still got the main Superman book, and people just don't see John Kent as Superman. Definitely more Superboy, but, I mean, that's kind of been pushed as, like, John Kent as a character has really suffered post Brian Michael Bendis, and it's just never been the same. And no matter what they try to do, it's just, he has not been that interesting. But we'll see what this creative team can kind of do. So, but also calling it Super Sun just makes you wish that you had both the Super Suns in it instead. And this is what, a 48-page comic book? I'm sorry, John. I used to love John Kent, but then, like I said, post the whole Bendis thing and him getting aged up, he's just not been a good character. Jonathan Kent has suffered more than except for the one where it was written by Tomasi, where it's like kind of an older version of him. Like, that was the one storyline I actually kind of liked. In terms of older John, or deceased, but that's like an Elseworld thing. Jonathan Kent has suffered more than most at the hand of the Trinity of Evil, but the son of Superman will summon the will to fight back. In this special, oversized edition of Absolute Power, we'll travel to the depths of despair as one of the most powerful beings on the planet must reckon with his own past to save his future, and the road to recovery will pave the way for the war. Pave the way for a critical new chapter in the journey of the Super Sun. It's a clash of power, a tale of self-discovery, and the start of a new dream in Absolute Power, Super Sun. See, it feels off saying it. Superman number 18, written by Joshua Williamson. This is another Absolute Power tie-in, I'm sure. Yep, there we go. Waller has the powerless heroes of the DC Universe on the ropes. Can the powerless Superman and Zatanna find the mystical map to the Dark Roads in time to get some major backup? Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, Mercy, Jimmy, and Silver Banshee are on the run from the superpowered Amazos, but find themselves pulled into a battle for the soul of Metropolis. Don't miss the shocking cliffhanger that impacts the future of the Superman titles. Everything impacts it. Alright, so it looks like we've got a Wonder Woman and Damian team up. You know, I'm actually kind of looking forward to reading this, but again, the writer, Tom King, has written some stuff I've not been a huge fan of, so maybe he could do a decent job. Like, Absolute Power tie-in. Gamora found Wonder Woman and Robin have finally located Amanda Waller's super jail, holding the powerless heroes they once fought alongside. Can the new dynamic duo break them out before they become trapped themselves? An undercover ally may hold the key to everything, but who could that be? Oh, we got the Arrow fam right here. I like this cover right here. This is a pretty good one. Green Arrow number 16, written by Joshua Williamson. Man, does that guy ever take a break? He's always writing so many titles. Team Arrow is up against a wall, and it's not Amanda Waller. It's her agent of destruction, Bright. Who is Bright, and why does he hate Green Arrow and his family? Ollie must decide if he should save his family, even if it means they become locked up in Waller's super prison. Also, can we get rid of Amanda Waller after this event? I'm so tired of that character. Green Lantern number 15, Jeremy Adams, Phil Kennedy Johnson, various artists and all that too. Another Absolute Power tie-in. Hal has a problem. He needs to charge his ring, but the entrance to the power battery is a continent away. Plus, the skies of Earth are patrolled by Amanda Waller's modified Amazos, which leaves Hal with one choice: to ride into the danger zone. Don't worry, he totally got permission to use the Batplane for this mission. Wink. Plus, John Stewart's tale from Green Lantern War Journal. Absolute Power, Origins, number 3, written by John Ridley. Amanda Waller's journey has brought her to hell and back, from the blood-soaked streets of Chicago to the over-the-top exploits of her very own Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad. Now with the clock ticking on ultimate victory over the metahumans of planet Earth, the origin of DC's most methodical menace draws to a close. But what secrets lie within the terrifying alien mind of the Brainiac Queen? And will the Wall survive the very seed she has herself sown? All this and Rustam's Revenge, the finale of Absolute Power Origins. Like I said, after this event, I don't want to see Amanda Waller for a really long time, if ever again. Well, I mean, she's going to appear in like live action stuff, but like I'm so fatigued with this character. Ooh, Artemis, yeah. Absolute Power, Task Force 7, number 6, written by Stephanie Williams, art by Kerry Randolph. Amanda Waller, my God, that name. Amanda Waller comes for the Amazons after they assist the heroes in their battle for survival. Will her weapon, with the powers of the beloved champion of the island of Themyscira, be able to unlock its secrets, or will Queen Nubia and her sisters in arms send this robot straight to the underworld? Then we have this one here. Absolute Power, Task Force 7, number 7, written by Dan Waters. Okay, this is going to be pretty weird and out there, I'm sure. The Trinity of Evil achieved total domination over Earth's superpower protectors. But what of the heroes not of this Earth? Just as Kal-El of Krypton before him, J'onn J'onzz of Mars has felt the devastating effects of Waller's Task Force 7 fires. They continue their mission of siphoning metahuman powers across the globe. But hope glimmers even in the face of the ghastly Global Guardian, and a new generation of fighters from every corner of the world have joined forces to rise up. It's the finale of Task Force 7 as we near the grand finale, the epic Absolute Power event. Okay, and then we have Batman the Barbarian, number 1. More Batman, 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 Batman. Issue 1 of 6, written by Greg Smallwood. Looks like he's also did the artwork too. I feel like I want to play that Conan the Barbarian. Oh, it's going to be a bi-monthly, so every other month. So that'll be interesting. In a world where unspeakable beasts slither through the silent temples and sorcerers pledge innocent lives as blood sacrifices to incomprehensible cosmic designs, only one man has the strength of will and brute force required to protect the people who have become prey, the fearsome blade-wielding Batman. But when the all-seeing Oracle warns him of a looming shadow creeping across the land, he will have to contend with foes that cannot be dispatched by sword alone, including the terrible memory of the catastrophe in which he was made. Long day. Eisner Award-winning artist Greg Small unleashes his brutal vision of Bruce Wayne, shot through the high fantasy hallmarks and awe-inspiring reimagining of the classic Batman Rogues Gallery. So Conan the Barbarian, but with Batman. Here's some cool-looking covers right here. It's Detective Comics. Oh, that's Montoya. Detective Comics 1089, written by Ram V. It began with melodies, strange and haunting drawings, Batman deeper and deeper into the demonic odyssey, from the sewers under Gotham to the hallucinatory desert, from the brink of death's strange rebirth and the iron grip. It has all led to this moment. And now the curtains close on Ram V's epic gothic opera. Yes! It's finally ending. Oh my goodness, this story arc has dragged on for so long. I mean, there's been some good moments, but good grief, you could have cut out like 10 issues in this thing and just kind of trimmed the fat off it substantially, because there feels like there's so much needless padding in this thing. Like, if you cut this story arc in half, make it a little more concise, it could have been something really great. But as it stands, it is dragged on for so long. Maybe it'll read better in like a long trade, but I don't know. I just never found the organs that interesting. I am excited for this issue simply because it is the end of this story arc. And I'm ready to see Detective Comics go back to just, kind of being some, like, actual detective cases once more. Kind of like what Tomasi was doing, like, after whoever it was just left the book before him. But that's, I think, was it him or Tamaki who wrote some stuff for it? Even then, like I said, I want to see, like, Batman just doing some random cases in the city. Just for a little while. Just take, a break from these super-duper long stories. So, and then we have this one right here. Looks like the final issue of Tom Taylor's Nightwing. Okay, Nightwing number 118. So, embark on an exhilarating journey through the streets of Bloodhaven as we bid a heartfelt farewell to the dynamic duo of Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo in this epic conclusion of their award-winning run. With Nightwing's fear of heights overcome, he returns to Bloodhaven for a final face-off with Heartless and Tony Zuko. It's battle you've all been waiting for, and if we learned anything from Nightwing these last couple of years, he never has to do it alone. One thing's for certain, though, Bloodhaven will never be the same after this. Okay, I'm excited for this as well. Like I said, two things. We're finally ending these really long storylines. No more Heartless. No more Orkim family. We could finally move on from it. So I'm most excited about that. And then what do we got here? Are these just covers? Nightwing Uncovered. Ivan Cohen. Dick Grayson is front and center. Stunning collection. Some of the most compelling cover art to Grayson's solo title over the years. Okay, it's just cover art. Batman Dark Age number 6, written by Mark Russell. Gotham appears to be saved, but for how long? A face from Gotham's past emerges from the ashes, and the Anti-Monitor threatens to destroy everything. Bruce Wayne looks back across the year and wonders if it's all for nothing. Looks like we're back in the Batman and Robin book, right? Oh, this is Brave and the Bold number 17. Leap year only comes once every 4 years, and for the most part, an extra day on the calendar is mid-novelty, but for Calendar Man, why wasn't this released in like a leap year storyline? Shouldn't they have been released back in February? Just saying. It's critical era than which he holds most dear. Now, Batman and the GCPD respond to a deadly hostage situation, but can they work together to stop Calendar Man before it's too late? And lastly, the question, with the help of a surprise guest star, a Masters of a Serious Villain Zero. Catwoman, number 68. As the forces of the White Glove prepare to put Gotham City in a stranglehold, Selina finds herself in need of emergency medical treatment from the steady hands of none other than Hush. Will the feline fatale survive her procedure and live to protect her beloved precious city, or is she reduced to fish food by the bottom of the Gotham Bay? Okay, yada. Then we have this Birds of Prey one. Birds of Prey, number 13. With the search for Barbara finally over, Cass leads the Birds of Prey through the portal one final time. And where they end up is a world far too familiar to Cass, but strange to everyone else. What here will turn everything on its head? Or should we say who? Okay. Batman and Robin. So just covered the latest issue this week. Maya Ducard is finally back, so I'm excited about that. Written by Joshua Williamson, art by Juan Ferreira. I'm actually excited to see Juan. I don't know if he's taken over this issue or a few beforehand, but new artists, I'm all for. Batman, Robin, and Bane must escape Dinosaur Island, but they are not alone. A dangerous presence has taken over and won't let anyone leave the island alive. Can the father and son dynamic duo return to Gotham, or will this be their last adventure together? I'm going to say it's not going to be their last adventure. But you know what? I'm all in on what they're doing right here now that they're going to confront Bane. That's something I'm actually looking forward to seeing. There's a lot of unresolved stuff there. Batman Superman World's Finest, number 31. Surprise Wade is still writing this thing. Darkness Falls. Eclipso, the master of the light and shadow, has risen to plague the world's finest team of Superman and Batman. Powered like never before, Eclipso threatens to plunge the Earth into a state of eternal night and eternal despair. Harley Quinn, number 43, written by Tini Howard. Brr, my buns are freezing off. With the threat of Gotham City being buried under 500 metric tons of ice, your old pal Harley Quinn, me, has no choice but to face down against both the Ice Cube, lickingest bad dude to ever live, Mr. Freeze, and the devious Bat Family hating Officer Pulaski. Can't a clown queen of crime catch a break? All I want to do is set things right before the citizens of Gotham return icicles. Plus, I got one last dream to share with you before these jabronis start pumping my brain with coffee 24/7. It's a juicy one. That's right, back by popular demand. More Beefcake Barbarian Queen Harley by Alexis Corsana. This time she's joined by Phyllis. Okay. Then we have this one. Poison Ivy, number 25. Join G. Wilson, Marcia, and the Veteran Girls Cares. They tell stories of Ivy's past, present, and future. Discover the sad and true story of two cousins who love mushrooms a little too much and man who play with fire, very hungry crocodile, an orphan dressed up like a bat. Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in year 3 of Poison Ivy. All this and more of this special oversized extravaganza. What is going on here? Multiverses collision detected. Okay, this one is kind of a crazy cover right here. Are they just crossing over everything in multiverses? Okay, I may check this one out. Bruce Wayne, Diana Prince, and Clark Kent each wake in a cold sweat, troubled by a strange dream that had about the Rabbit, the Star Child, and the Witch. Their investigation of these enigmatic visions brings them to unexpected locales and unusual characters, but none more unusual than the mysterious rabbit from their dreams. They find themselves face to face with the one and only Bugs Bunny. What the heck is going on here? And who in the name of Multiverse are the Star Child and the Witch? The hit video game spills from your screen to the DCU and is bringing a whole lot of friends from some of your favorite universes with it. Okay. I actually might check this one out. I mean, Multiverses, I played a little bit, didn't get too into it, but I'm all for more crossover stuff. Then we have this, Action Comics number 1069. Oh, God, I'm starting to lose my voice here, so I apologize. Written by Gail Simone and Rainbow Rowell. The challenge continues. Superman finds himself an unwilling gladiator in a war of 1,000 worlds. Either he completes the challenges or we lose the cities of Paris, Chicago, and Kandor, joins a wild tale of adventure and intergalactic war. Plus, there is a way for Lois and Clark to keep working together without compromising their values and their relationship. Trinity Special, World's Finest, written by Tom King. The World's Finest heroes of tomorrow back from the daughter of Wonder Woman. The Super Sons return for more stories for the last action and awe-inspiring adventure. Can Lizzie survive Darkseid and his terrifying math? One innocent trip to the past for homework change the future. Are Damien John's barks worse than their bite? Find out this collection of the last... Okay, so it's just a collection of the backups. Excuse me. Outsiders, number 11 by Jackson Lanzing and Colin Kelly. In the punitive issue, our heroes enter the eye of the storm. The pages of reality have become torn and frayed, but they burn away. Luke, Kate, and Drummer must face the past, present, and future as an unexpected force threatens to erase them all. Okay. Titans, number 15. A major death will shake the DCU. BS. There's no death in the DCU at this point. Everyone who dies comes back, unless you're Alfred right now. A major death will shake the DCU. There's no stopping it. Dark destiny is coming. The countless worlds shake with fear. The dark winged queen is rising, stronger than the Titans, stronger than Trigon and all his demonic children. Can the Titans save the world and their friend, or they become forced to choose? No one's going to die in this thing. If they had any guts, they would have killed off Beast Boy or somebody earlier on in this run, but, I mean, he's pretty much invulnerable at this point, so I'm not buying this stuff. Titans has not really been, like, doing it for me, like, all things considered. I mean, it got a little better post-Beast World, but It's never been like a, oh, I can't wait to read this each month kind of book. Power Girl number 13, written by Leah Williams. Can Power Girl trust her suitor Axel? Only one person tell her that answer for sure. Her best friend Omen, but when Omen's telepathy is threatened by a chance encounter with a new hero, Paige must focus on saving her from herself along with the rest of Metropolis. Shazam number 15, written by Josie Campbell. Things go from bad to worse as the evil society behind the latest monster attack is finally revealed. With Philly literally crumbling beneath their feet, it's up to Billy and Mary to stop the city from sinking. But is the danger great enough for Billy to utter those magic words? And without powers, how in the world can Freddy help? Well, he might get the chance to change that, and his choice will send shockwaves through the Shazam family. The Flash, number 13, by Simon Spurrier. Barryland has been to the ends of the multiverse and back now he runs to the danger unlike any he's ever encountered, as the fate of not only the Speed Force, but all heroes hangs in the balance. Barry's life story flashed before his eyes and begins his most important race ever. Okay, from the DC Comics Wall, Death in the Family, Robin Lives, number 3, GM Demetis. Over 30 years, history is made. This is an alternate story of what would have happened if he had lived. Jason Todd has escaped from to his farm on revenge, but when Robin finally finds the Joker, revenge transforms into tragedy and madness. Meanwhile, Batman's encounter with Mother Graham and her army of lost children has the Dark Knight questioning a lot of his past purpose. Yada yada yada. Okay. I know what you did last Crisis. Oh boy. Yeah, we don't want to talk about Last Crisis. DC's, I know you let... Okay, this is for October. In the blackest night, when the darkness feels infinite, the very fabric of the universe begins to tear as every major crisis in DC history rises once again. These 8 chilling tales set during the events of the crisis warn you. Fractured World, Flashpoint, Professor Pig is this. During blackest night, Scarecrow lurks out to this. Even heroes like Nightwing are safe in Infinite Crisis. Okay. So it's just a little anthology set during Darius Crisis. Lobo Cancellation Special number 1, Kyle Starks. Fetal's Jizz, I was going to say Fetal's Jizz, but I mean, is that how you pronounce it? Just when he thought it was safe to go back in outer space, the Freakazoids of DC Comics ambush you with the scummiest comic book this side of Uranus. Get ready for the most skull-crunching, crotch-punting, and excrement asteroid-filled comic of the year. You're going to be praying to God that we pulp this sleaze fest before your kids read it. Okay, at least they're letting you know. My Adventures with Superman number 4, written by Josie Campbell. Things are heating up in Metropolis. Lois, Jimmy, and the Kents have hidden Amazo from the ruthless Task Force X and Team 7, but after a startling revelation, they realize it's not just Amazo in harm's way, but the entire city. Batman 89, Echoes number 5. All hell breaks loose at Arkham Asylum, but will Batman be able to get a handle on the chaos, or will his identity finally be uncovered? Probably not. Mad Magazine number 40. And what do you have here? Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age, number 3. I really like this cover right here. That's a pretty cool old school looking cover. And its search for ancient relics, the League of Assassins encounter a new bearer of the Jade Ring of Longji. Alan Scott Mule and Metropolis passionate reporter Lois Lane sets out for Kansas to investigate the robber baron looking to buy the Daily Planet, Lex Luthor. Okay, so Damien's here, all this other stuff. DC vs. Vampires, World War V, number 2, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art and cover by Otto Schmidt. The peace between vampires and heroes is wearing thin. Lois Lane will try and negotiate a way to maintain a truce, but with Damien's relentless attacks on the Vampire Queen and her armies, the only thing that might be able to bring them together is a miracle. Yeah, Damien's still seeking revenge. Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter, number 3. The harsh winter journey takes a surprising turn when a familiar face from the Kingdom of El crashed into Slade and his young yet powerful charge. Al Collin, but will Prince Bruce reveal himself to be friend or foe of this? And in the backup feature written by Tom Taylor, mastermind behind the Dark Knights of Steel universe and drama Ricardo Fabrici, soldiers turn deserters Martha and John Kent find themselves a new calling, protecting the miraculous child they rescued from brutal Atlantean attack, but a kingdom hates. Okay, Plastic Man, No More, number 1 by Christopher Cantwell, on sale 9/4/2024. E.L. O'Brien might be a superhero now, but before he was anything else, he was a crook until the accident that turned into the pliable Plastic Man. Eel was bad to the bone, and just because he no longer has bones doesn't mean that's not true. When an incident on a Just League mission leads to catastrophic cellular damage, Plastic Man discovers he just might be out of time to make amends for his past he's tried hard to outrun, or to save the soul of a son who, unfortunately for him, might have inherited more from dear old dad than just superpowers. The Eisner-nominated creative team, Christopher Cantwell, brings you the 5 words they thought you'd never read. Hard-boiled Plastic Man noir. And hey, if we're crazy enough to greenlight that concept, you won't believe the things we're crazy enough to do in this book. Then we got here, Nice House by the Sea, James Tynion, Max, okay. And then we have this one, which is Jenny Sparks #2 by Tom King. Boy, there's a lot of books this month. The spirit of the 20th century turns with the 21st. Thinking her time in this world has finally ended, Jenny lays down to rest, only to be woken by the horrific effects of September 11, 2001. Commander still needs her, especially for seeing Ryan Strange's bar. Will Captain Adams spare them? Okay. Now, that'll be an interesting one for them to kind of dive into. Okay, we have The Boy Wonder, #5, the final issue of this little series. The Robins have united to battle their way out of the stronghold of the Demon's Head, but Damien cutting his family ties to Razagul isn't just a matter of punching his way through ninjas. Could this fairy tale possibly have a happy ending, or is the story of Damian Wayne an inescapable tragedy? Very vague, but very mysterious. John Constantine, Dead in America, #9, written by Simon Spurrier, art by Aaron Campbell. John has made it all the way out west to Los Angeles, where the line between what's real and not is paper thin, and that's before he unleashed the power of Dream Stand. The long-traveled road to America has led them here, but what sort of evil lurks behind the bright lights of Hollywood? Zatanna, Bring Down the House, #4, written by Mariko Tamaki. After dealing with demons and casters and bunnies, oh my, all Zatanna really wants to get out of her own life. And in the midst of brewing war across seemingly every faction of magic, the sudden reappearance of her old flame, John Constantine, might just provide the disappearing X Zatanna so desperately craves. Then we have Primer, Clashing Colors, #3. Deathstroke and Strack are free from prison, are ready to take the revenge of the Teen Titans, and on Primer can actually find a way to track them down, recapture the battery, and save the Titans, and even as she reels from Ravager's betrayal and the loss of the Primer suit, only time will tell. Batman and Robin and Howard, Summer Breakdown, #3. Convinced Talia al Ghul is helping Luthor reestablish Recomplex tech, Damian Wayne knows his mom is up to no good in Gotham, and he is certain the Hero Club are ninjas in her employ. Howard's not so sure, but one thing is certain, Lex Luthor is determined to recycle enough kryptonite to take down Superman. Can the kids learn to work together before Luthor's plan is complete? Maybe Metropolis' favorite reporter will bring just the help they need. The Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries, #9. So they're all there, just kind of chilling, hanging out. Shaggy and Scooby are scared of pretty much everything, especially ghosts and flying. So when Kite-Man rebands as the flying phantom of Wayne Tower, his most inept plot yet is terrifying to our scaredy cats when they are literally get blown away from Gotham's tallest building. Will they land safe or have their final Scooby snacks? Looney Tunes #280, release Coyote vs. Acme, written by Derek Friedolfs. It is time to see which competitors will make the greatest splash as the summer Looney Tunes games continue. Will Daffy take like a duck to water? Can Foghorn Leghorn perfect his chicken breaststroke? And which team will rise triumphant in the race of a lifetime? Okay, are we at the end? Yes, okay. Looks like we were finally in terms of the issues. My goodness, that's like a lot of comic books this month. I've been talking for like nearly 30 minutes straight. My voice is like literally about to go and give way. So, yeah, so September, thing I'm most excited for, kind of the conclusion to a few story arcs. I'm excited to see Nightwing and Detective Comics kind of conclude those storylines that have been going on for, geez, how long at this point? Like 2 years, since 2022, since I really started covering at least like Nightwing and like the current Detective Comics run. So I'm looking forward to seeing when those finally kind of reach their conclusion. That to me is what has me most excited. And like going in October to see who inevitably takes over the book post Tom Taylor and such, or maybe they take a little bit of a break from some of these titles. I can't imagine they'll do that, but yeah, so there's that. Absolute Power, it's just another event to me. I wish I could get excited for it, but I think DC has kind of burnt out me, and not just me, but a ton of other readers on so many of their recent events, and it just got to the point where it's like, it's just too much. If they held off on doing events so much in recent years, and the events actually felt like they had weight or significance, then I'd probably be more excited for it. But when you kind of overdo it on events, it feels less special. So I think that what they need to do, take 2025 off from any big events. Maybe I'm not saying you shouldn't do like crossovers or like kind of smaller, like bigger stakes stories, but like something like Absolute Power where it just takes over everything, or like we got Night Terrors last year, like No More or Beast World or Dark Crisis or Lazarus Planet, where it's just too much. Like focus on your like strengthening your single, like your individual titles, make them really good and compelling, and then move into the next event. Like of something like that. So like once those are back on track and, you know, starting to do well and like kind of regain like the enthusiasm of the readers, then I think, you know, then you can start to bring in the big events. So yeah, so like I said, some of the typical usual titles I'll be looking forward to and such. Some good looking covers right here. But I think the things I'm most looking forward to are kind of seeing the conclusions to like Nightwing and Detective Comics, because I mean those storylines have gone on for so long that I'm just kind of ready for them to to reach the conclusion. But what things will happen at the end of them? I feel like Nightwing will probably have more significant stakes, but Detective Comics, I'm kind of curious to see who takes over after these two creative teams leave the book. So what are your thoughts on all this? Post them down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. Not sure what video will be next, but I want to kind of get this video out here for today. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. So, peace out, everyone.